Everyone, we are working on the next chapter or next part in The One and Only Bob. Yesterday, where we left off before we were rudely interrupted by October and Smudge, was the tornado had hit the zoo and everything was kind of in chaos. Bob got thrown in the air, he's halfway across the zoo, and he found out that a lot of the zoo is destroyed. So now he's really worried about, obviously, Ivan and Ruby, as well as Julia and George. So he's kind of on his way back to see if they're okay, how they're doing, and that's where we left off. This chapter's called Smells.
And the smells! Like I said, feelings have a scent. I figured I'd smelled pretty much everything there was to inhale in this big old world. But the smell of sheer terror, of helplessness, of blood, of broken bones, of torn wings, well, turns out there are a whole lot of smells I've never encountered. Didn't know how lucky I'd been.
Surveying the damage.
I pick my way past the devastation. The tornado has left a random path of misery. The African aviary is gone. Simply gone. The kids' farm nearby, untouched, although there are some very flustered chickens clucking like all get out from the safety of their henhouse. I see few people. Hopefully a lot of potential visitors were scared off by the threatening weather. It looks like some of the animals listened to their early warning systems, those little voices inside telling them something bad was coming their way. Quite a few seem to have taken cover before the brunt of the storm. Wish I'd paid more attention to my own internal weatherman. I pass the penguin viewing window, the one that allows visitors to watch their graceful swimming. Several penguins are underwater, swooping and swiveling. "Joe! Jim!" I call, and they both swim over. "Bert okay?" I ask. Baby Bert pops his little head out of the water.
"Hey, Bob, did you know we're having a storm?"
"Yeah, I noticed."
"All good here, Bob," Joe says. "You?"
"Yeah, took a little flight, though."
"Daddy,"
says Bert.
"can I fly?"
"In the air? Nope," says Joe. "You fly underwater. You're a penguin."
"Bob flew, and he's a dog."
"Bob is a very special dog," says Joe, and he gives me a look, a grown-up, just-between-us look that says, "We're all right, but what about the others?" Baby Sloth.
I say goodbye to the penguins and continue on my way. So much has simply vanished. Walls, fences, barriers, netting. The orderly world of the park, with its careful lines defining territory, isn't so defined anymore. Many of the habitats are still entirely intact, but not all. What will this place be without fences and walls? You didn't need to watch the Nature Channel to know that certain animals like to eat certain other animals. I pass two squirrel monkeys swinging happily from the children's carousel. A pelican watches from her porch on a popcorn stand. I see a camel and a zebra looking stunned to be standing side by side. I notice a red lemur, Merlin, on a picnic table. Lemur eyes are always so big, if you ask me, but Merlin's eyes look like they're about to pop right out of his head. I make my way through splintered wood and glass shards and approach the gift shop. It's roofless. Stuffed toy animals are scattered here and there like they tried to make a break for it. An I Love Koalas t-shirt dangles from a tree branch. Around a corner, I see a baby sloth. Sylvia, I think her name is. She's resting on a muddy plush giraffe. "Hey there," I say. She makes a tiny noise. A sloth sob, I guess it is. "Let's find your mom and dad." I'm not one for hugging and licking and such, but I give her a little nudge with my nose. Sylvia somehow manages to grab the giraffe, then looks up at me like she expects to hitch a ride. "How the heck do you pick up a baby sloth? It's not exactly part of my job description, and sloths are so, slothy." Carefully, I pick her up by her scruff, the way you do with a puppy. She puts that silly toy in her mouth, and off we go. Takes a few minutes, but I find her mom, Selma. I deposit Sylvia on a patch of wet grass. "How can I thank you?" Selma cries. No biggie, I say, and I head on, with fear in my belly and the odd taste of sloth fur in my mouth. Make no sudden moves. I've ridden around the grounds of the park in Julia's backpack enough to know every inch of the place. I've even chatted with many of the residents, but now everything is topsy-turvy. I keep finding myself in places I don't want to be, like the wolf exhibit. Near the entrance, a sign lies crushed on the ground. It has a picture of a gray wolf with an arrow pointing one way and another arrow with an emperor penguin on it. There's the broken sign. To my right, I see a piece of hay stuck deep in a tree trunk like a pencil in a cupcake. To my left, water gushes from a pathside ditch, a broken pipe. The boiling sky has settled in a solid blanket of gray, and the rain's quieted to a steady drizzle. Still, I smell more bad weather menacing in the distance. Tossed into a bush is a large informational display with a photo of 2 gray wolves. I don't see any fence or barrier or intact wall, and it dawns on me that grumpy wolves and tiny dogs might not make the best of pals, especially under these trying circumstances. Just as I start to leave, a wolf on the sign seems to move, to blink. Oh, he isn't part of the sign. He's next to the sign. It's Kimu. Hey, I say. No answer. Something tells me I should hightail it out of there. Something else is saying, make no sudden moves. I hate it when my brain disagrees with itself. I split the difference, crouching meekly, doing the whole submissive dog thing. Kimu locks his gaze on me. I try not to make direct eye contact. A lot of animals find that threatening. But his eyes are mesmerizing, glowing amber, and way too smart. He moves again. 2 paws appear. Big paws, nothing like my feeble, shrimpy feet. These paws are the size of hamburger buns with lethal claws attached. Mutt versus wolf. I wait for him to launch into his pounce. Maybe if I time my escape just right? Yeah, sure. In a battle of Chihuahua mutt versus wolf, even I wouldn't bet on the dog. Do they break your neck before they eat you? That only seems fair. My heart's doing this crazy tap dance in my chest, and I wonder if he can hear it. I sneak a peek at him. Strangely, he just keeps staring at me. Quickly, I avert my gaze. Those eyes, those chilling, dangerous eyes. It's me, Bob, I say. Kimu says nothing. He's panting hard. Maybe he's disoriented, even hurt? I try to speak again. My voice seems to be hiding somewhere deep in my throat. Another try. Kimu? He blinks. Are you all right? No response. Anyone else hurt? I ask. This time he seems to hear me. I don't know. His voice is a low whisper. Can I help? I ask, really hoping the answer is no. Suzu. I can't find her. All right then, I say. I'll take a look. I poke around a bit, careful not to get too close to Kimu. A sour smell pours off him like sweat of a human. I don't see her, I say after a few minutes, but I'm sure she's fine. Just a little shook up, probably, hiding somewhere. He doesn't answer. I should go. I'm, looking for some friends, I say. Is there anything else I can do? He looks up at the ominous sky as if there's an answer waiting there. I don't know, he says. I don't know. I don't know. Gorilla world. I move on. I have to find my friends. Have to. But where am I? I leap over another mangled signpost with bent arrows. One way to Reptileville, one way to Lionland. I pass the mangrove swamp. A manatee pokes up her big head, draped with Spanish moss like a silly wig. Two workers in yellow raincoats trot past me. One has a bloody bandage on his cheek. I need to stop, regroup. Cool it, Bob, I tell myself. I'm panicking, not taking in the right data. I try to blot out all the horrible smells, all the awful noise. I concentrate, let my nose do the work. A whiff of something familiar. Gorilla? It has to be gorilla. Full run now. I cut my back left paw on a shard of glass, trip, fall hard on my nose and cut it too. Dripping blood, I carry on. Find them, find them, find them. A massive old oak lies on its side at the entrance to Gorilla World. Huge tangled ropes grope into the air like frozen snakes. And just beyond, where Ivan lives, is nothing but devastation. We'll stop there.